As far back as I can remember, I dreamt of a normal life. A life filled with normal things. A life where monsters don't live in closets or under the bed. A life where ghosts aren't real. I just wanted to be normal. But that didn't happen. It wasn't meant to be. Since my early 20s, I have experienced profound paranormal events that would change my life. Extreme poltergeist activity, living amongst those that have departed this earth in ways unimaginable. It has affected my loved ones and children with no end in sight. I could hear things, see things, and feel things not of this world. I asked myself if this was a gift or a curse. With the help of my mother and close friends, I emerged a paranormal investigator. Since 2013, I have been on a relentless journey to learn about the paranormal. This is my time to share my journey with you. Welcome to my Paranormal Soapbox. Hello, and welcome to my Paranormal Soapbox. I'm your friendly neighborhood ghost hunter, Justin Brown, and we are presenting episode 87. And there is no topic because I couldn't think of one, and I've been so busy this weekend. I'm cheating tonight. But thank you for joining us anyway. Your guys are going to make the show tonight, and the girls are going to help too. Isn't that right? Hopefully.
This ought to be interesting.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been so freaking busy. I'm just like, I shot a wedding for you guys out there in Facebook, YouTube, and social media land. And Aowen's been ramping up her softball, so she's had it Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday. The only day I had off Monday was Monday, but I was doing all kinds of stuff with the photos. I took a lot of photos, me and Christy did, so sorry that there's not like a topic, but we will talk paranormal nonetheless. If you are a first-time viewer, we are going to talk about the paranormal. Please keep it classy. Keep it clean in the chat. But yeah, share. I see people chiming in. Derek's here. Joe Vitale, A Fireball. Sam Thomas. Ron A. Gilson's here. Michelle Williams. Yeah, we got Marilyn. Got more and more people chiming in. So, what do you girls want to talk about tonight? This is a Q&A. You can ask us anything within reason. It doesn't even have to be paranormal. But it would be, I guess it would fit the show format if it was. But it could be anything. It could lead to anything.
And I have a story.
Ooh, a story.
Yeah.
Do tell.
And I actually meant to message you both earlier today, but so Emma and I was driving home from a basketball game last night. It was dark, obviously. And I'm always nervous of, Justin and Missy knows what road I'm talking about. It's like this, constant.
Oh, no. Not that road.
Not
And
that
I'm
road.
so scared. That road doesn't bother me, but at nighttime, it's like, where's the deer? So anyway, I'm driving. Emma's, that's the rule, to go see her boyfriend play basketball. She's supposed to be watching for deer. Well, obviously, she's talking to her boyfriend on her phone. So I'm going, and I'm driving. I drive slow. Like I said, these turns are like you're kissing your own ass when you go through.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, I'm probably doing about 35 miles per hour. I think the speed limit was 50, but it was a little wet. So I'm being good. And all of a sudden, I'm looking, and it's one of those sharp turns. So I'm going around the bend to make the turn. There's a man in the middle of the road.
Oh my God.
Pants on, no shirt on, long dark hair. He has stuff on his body, so I'm thinking I was assuming it was tattoos. And, it was right in front of my car. My reaction, and I'm actually a really good driver, and Josh, you better agree with me. But I mean, I closed my eyes because I thought for sure I'm hitting this guy because he was right there. I slammed on the brakes, and Emma is, Mom, what happened? What's going on? And I said, there was a man in the middle of the road. And she says, no. And because once I opened my eyes up, gone. So then we start creeping along to finish the turn. And there was a deer right there that was just walking across the road.
Oh, God. Yeah.
It was the weirdest thing. Emma's like, so you can tell Josh that you hit a guy? I'm like, I didn't hit him. But it kind of freaked me out for a little bit. I was
That
like,
gives
oh.
a whole new meaning to drive-by psychic.
It was weird. It was weird.
Yeah, that's not a road for anybody to be on in the middle of.
Yeah.
All.
Yeah, it's
on the side of a mountain.
Yeah, you actually have to legit drive. Yeah.
Justin.
Yes.
Michelle's name is not Williams.
Huh?
Michelle's last name is not Williams.
There was a Michelle Williams on here, wasn't there?
No, her name is Millions. Millians.
Oh, no, I apologize if I read that incorrectly.
She took offense to that.
Oh, well, you can stop watching if you want. I would understand. I'm trying to see if I could read it again. I might have just glanced at it and just assumed Williams. I'm looking for it now. She's on Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not seeing it yet. Michelle, where are you? Yeah, I don't even see her comments anymore. Uh-oh. All right, Millions. Like I made millions of dollars. That's how you pronounce it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Nice name. That's better than Williams, I guess. Now you got, if you don't make million, yep, there he is. There she is. Millions. Yeah. That's how you pronounce it. She says she loves me, so there's got to be something going right. All right, so I know Josh Bender and Jessica, but Josh Bender especially has been experiencing some very cool but weird things. And I want to talk about this and see if anybody else in the chat can relate or has experienced anything similar. There's this thing in the paranormal realm called it just left me apports. And it's a alleged poltergeist phenomenon where something disappears and then reappears. Maybe in the same spot, maybe in a different spot, but it legit disappears and reappears. Maybe it never reappears at all. But Josh experienced this among other things. And Josh is the most analytical, skeptical person when it comes to, was that paranormal that I think I've ever, as you can be. He's experienced things, but he tries to exhaust all possibilities, and I don't even think he's 100% there yet. Jess, what you think after this has happened to him? Is he 100% there? Or is he?
I don't think 100%, but I think he's more than what he has been.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so he's like, I want to tell you a story, Justin. All right, okay, tell me a story, Josh. And he says first we'll start with he's been hearing his name being called, whether it's silent, whether he's running a vacuum in his or a grinder or a sander in his shop. He feels a presence behind him a lot of times. He hears whistles and he can't find an explanation for him. And then he comes home. He's very routine. He stays on his routine, right? So he comes home. First thing he does, he'll probably throw off a coat or his hoodie, and he'll take his beanie off. He might go into the bathroom, or he may change into clothes out of his work clothes. So he kind of follows the same routine. So he lays his beanie down. I think he said on this day, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jess, but I think he went to the bathroom, or did he go to change?
Well, what he does is he goes, takes his lunchbox out, puts it in the
Okay.
kitchen, and comes back through, takes his beanie and takes his sweatshirt off, and then he goes change.
Okay. So he does that, and when he comes back and he looks down, his beanie's not there. So immediately he's like, okay, that's not right. So fast forwarding, he's telling Jess, I can't find my beanie. Hey, did you take it? And she's like, no. He's asking Emma, hey, did you take my beanie? She's like, no, why would I do that? So that all of them turn the house upside down, inside out. They look through everything once, twice, three times, everywhere you can look. Their house is not huge, so it only takes, a good 4 or 5 hours to really give it a good search through if you're trying hard. And they search for 3 days. It's nowhere. I mean, he's going out in the trash, searching the trash, everywhere you can think of. So, and Jess is telling that she's seeing some things, like she saw a man in the closet, which I think I gave my suggestion who I thought that was, but then she sees a little boy in the hallway and he kind of looks lost.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was strange. So it seems like, from what Josh has said, this activity seems mischievous, and it seems almost like it's playing with him, like a trickster in a way. So I suggested to him, I was like, well, maybe if you ask it to return, ask the spirits if it will return your beanie. He's like, okay. So he said it very nicely. Hey, I don't mind, pranks and playing around, but I would really like my beanie back. If you would just put it somewhere where I can find it, I would really appreciate it. So, was it that day or the following day?
It was the next day. It was the next day when I was doing that.
The next day. Okay, you take it away, Jess. Tell him you can wrap this up.
It was Sunday, and I was gathering all of his work clothes, which we have shook all of his work clothes numerous times. He's done it a few times. I did a few times, and he's actually wore them. And I go in there, and I've already done Emma's laundry. I go in there with his work clothes, and I lay him in a basket that I usually keep just like Emma's sweaters, my sweaters, to wash them separately.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gathering his clothes to put him in the washer because I had to switch load the laundry. And I'm gathering them, everything up and this and that. And there was a towel. No reason for the towel to be, because I mean the laundry room is pretty. I know why everything's where it's at, and I just so happened to move the towel a little bit, and his beanie was in that basket. Mind you, Josh watched me go through that basket a few times. I know I went without. I did it even with Josh looking, and he's went through that basket. It's just one of those small baskets, it's not one of the big hampers or anything. And all of a sudden, there it is. I walk outside. I had it on my head. I said, "Hey, Josh, look." And so I had explained to him how I found it. I think he still believed that I did something with it, because he plays jokes on Emma and I. He'll take our cell phones and hide them, but promise you, it wasn't us. But so yeah, I kept explaining the story like he was trying to, understand, or maybe not understand how it ended up where it did.
Right.
We have no idea whatsoever.
Bill asks if it's possible his angel guys are trying to tell him something. I don't know about that. Becky made a joke. She said, next time I'll give orders to not return the beanie. I thought that was funny. I know Sandy said, the past couple of weeks I've been hearing whispering when I'm alone too, starting to freak me out a little. I would see why. And anything else on Facebook? Any people chiming in new, Missy?
Yeah, well, Brandon just jumped on. William Antonio said, "Oh my God, he has a follower. Brought it home from the Museum of the Afterlife. I see an inmate looking for stuff he didn't have in life. Attention, the beanie, keys, to get out of a cell, family, happiness. Males in his 40s, salt and pepper hair, wearing a brown prison coat, work boots, used to work the railroad."
So what would you say to that, Jess?
I mean, I possibility, because I mean, I have, and even actually, I spoke with my daughter yesterday about what she's been experiencing. And when was I telling you, Justin, that I felt something was in his closet?
It must have been, oh my gosh.
It's been a while.
It was like at least a week before that. It wasn't too far apart. It must have been the week prior.
Prior going to the museum?
No. Oh, to the museum.
Yeah, I thought we were talking about what
Okay.
Anthony said.
I can't honestly remember if it was
Because
that far.
Emma and I have been both feeling a lot, and Josh obviously been experiencing things, but it's kind of hard to pinpoint. Because I mean, honestly, and I've talked about this before. It's like I'm at home. I think it should be safe. Like I don't, want to try to use anything. I just want to be, not having to chime into everything. But I mean, I think it's a very well, possibility of something came from there. But I mean, I just remember seeing that boy, and I think 2 days later, the beanie was gone. I saw the boy,
Yeah,
between the recliner and the bathroom.
Yeah, you kind of just take guesses at who it could be. You kind of like try to correlate what you have been seeing with what's been happening. That's just human nature to do that. But we'll put that in our notes, Anthony. I know there's some new people chiming in. I know I see Robert Murphy. I see Tassos.
I
Peter.
think that's how you say it.
Tirpanis. That is a pretty killer name. Where are you from? I want to know what country would name a child such as that. I want to learn.
Remember when we were there, when we were at Jess and Josh's house at like 2 a.m, I got woke up by a little kid saying, "Mommy, are you here? I can't find you."
Okay. All right. We're not sure, but we'll take all those into consideration. I don't know why we wouldn't. Okay.
Sam Thomas, a beanie is like a toboggan, like a hat. Like she wanted to know what a beanie was.
Yeah, it's just like one of those little hats you put on when it's cold out. Some of them have a little puff ball. Some of them you fold up. Some of them have flaps, maybe. Oh,
Becky said, I misplace things and asked for help finding them, and usually it just hits me where they are.
Okay.
Darren says Josh is cool, so something attached to him to hang out with him. Just because he's cool.
William also said that's exactly what popped in my head as soon as you started talking about it. I can see his smirk of his alarm that he is causing. LOL.
Okay. There's Josh is cool. Supernatural Awesome Ventures. What's up, Dan? So yeah, I mean, he also reported the outside water faucet turning on by itself, seemingly by itself. He couldn't find a reason. He tried to guess that maybe his dog Silas's leash kind of got wrapped around it and turned it on. I don't see that happening, but I guess that's more plausible than saying a ghost did it, I guess. Depends on who you ask.
Silas is a big dog. If his leash got caught on it and he wanted to, we could have pulled it out of the damn wall.
Maybe. We'll test that theory next time we go down.
Okay.
I just thought it was weird that, Josh is starting to experience things more and more at his house, and we speculate whether if it's Jess's fault, if it's Emma's fault, if it's just Josh becoming more witchy, we don't know. But I just thought it was interesting.
Josh is also picking up, he's seeing stuff in the corner of his eyes, the same as what I've always, seen here. And I mean, he'll open up that shop door and he'll peek out. And I'm like, nope. So what you're doing in there? Because there's been a couple times I'm like, why did you come out? Heard my name being called. No.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely gets my attention when he says that, but I don't know. I know stuff happens at my father-in-law's down the lane and my sister-in-law right next door. They're constantly reporting the strange, unexplainable phenomena at their house. And it's not just them. People come over and visit, especially, my father-in-law don't have a lot of visitors, but Deanna and Rodney does. And they see things and experience things from time to time. And it's always, Josh says, it's not my fault. I was wondering when he was going to chime in with that. He just wants to make it clear it's not his fault. It's it's everybody else.
And Dan says it's always Jessica's fault.
William said for the railroad, are you by the railroad, Jess?
Yes, we do have a set of railroad tracks here.
Missy's probably closer to the railroad tracks where she's at.
I don't remember where hers is at.
They're right across the street.
Oh. I just remember going in the back of,
Yeah.
See, ours is
if you walk out the front door, you can see the railroad tracks.
Like Justin would probably be able to throw a softball or baseball, whatever. Maybe. It's on the
Yeah, I remember it is. It's along the creek. It's along the creek.
Yep. Yeah.
He said he's got to blame it on somebody, but it's not his fault.
The verdict is still out on that. All right. So, yeah, if anybody has any questions about what I think about something you have experienced, what I think about, what do I theorize about things? I know people ask me quite a bit about pretty much everything you can think of. You can ask the girls something, obviously. You girls can ask me something if you want. How's your week been? Has anything been weird happening at Missy's house since I last checked in last Thursday?
I fell twice.
Aww.
That's not weird. It's completely normal.
Yeah.
Anything paranormal?
Derek's been waking up at 3:33 in the morning.
Still.
Yep.
Well, I guess I guess that'll continue until he goes full man witch. I don't know.
I tried to get him to sit down and meditate with me. He's like, I'm not doing that. I ain't got time.
Ed says, blessed a house once, and a visitor manifested spirits crying out. Visitors can do things like that. I believe that they can.
Gilson says been having weird dreams this week.
Yeah. Really weird. Friday night, Ed said, Missy, I see a light surrounding you. I see the light around you. Friday night, I had a dream that I got attacked by a spirit. He was a ghost. I knew the difference. But then Saturday, we went to Best Buy, and as we're walking through, this guy says, bye. And that was all he said. And it was the same guy from my dream.
But he was alive.
And I'm like, did he talk to you? Do you see him? He's like, yeah, I see him. He's like, I talked to him. I'm like, okay.
You had to make sure he was not dead.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Darren's got a question.
Yes. Justin, what is your suggestion to someone who has stuff that comes up missing like Josh did? My sister's house is active and has things come up missing.
Okay, well, the first thing I suggested Josh do is you can always experiment with possibilities. Let's just say someone's trying to get your attention, spiritual, a spiritual entity presence. Let's just hypothesize and speculate that is the culprit. Okay, let's see if that person wants to interact or communicate. That's their version of trying to get someone's attention. So maybe they can kindly, respectfully ask an alleged spirit entity to return the item. And if that doesn't work, maybe you can just try to communicate, try to get any type of response or intelligent interaction with something there. Can you give me an example what's missing? Because sometimes, depending on what's missing, can allow you to infer things. But yeah, that would be the first thing I would try. You girls have any other suggestions?
I was talking to Josh. Sorry.
Well, Darren asked what I would suggest. What would you suggest doing? What would you do?
Well, I would probably do what you suggested to Josh. I mean, I lose stuff all the time just because I I have brain holes, but then I'm like, "Oh, that's where I put it."
You need to explain that, dear.
I
Hmm?
think
Me and Justin know what brain holes mean.
with my MS, I have lesions in my brain and my spinal cord, and so, they won't grow back, and so that's why we call them brain holes.
Yeah, you essentially have scar tissue where once active neurons in
Lesions.
your spinal cord and brain were. So yeah, that you could call that a hole for sure. Um, did Darren reply back since then? I don't think so yet.
Becky Compton said, I keep having dreams of people getting chopped up and dolls coming alive.
Sounds like you're watching too much TV. Hopefully that doesn't pertain to reality at all, but if it does, sorry. Okay, I can share this. I had a dream that was not a typical dream, and what made this dream even stranger was this relates to the photography job I had this weekend. My aunt on my mother's side, my mother's sister, messages me, right, and asks me if I can do this wedding. But that night, actually, I woke up to her message, and this is my dream. I had a dream where I just late last year, or maybe mid last year, I had lost a cousin to drug overdose, and he passed away. And he was living in a trailer down the hill from his mother and father's on Holiday Road here in Hillsboro. And that night before my aunt messaged me on Facebook, I had a dream where he was moving into a trailer kind of nearby where he used to live, but on a different road. And all the Colvilles were there, all the relation on that side, almost like a family reunion over again, was at his house. And we were helping him move in, helping him fix up the place to move into it. And I was just like, that's weird. I haven't had a dream about him until that time. And then our aunt messages me and says, hey, you want to do a photo job? And I was just like, that's strange. So during the reception, she was there. My aunt was there during the reception. And she was telling me that she had been thinking about my cousin a lot. And she had been thinking about how we haven't been getting together, like how we used to do family reunions. And she was thinking about we need to get together to have reunions. And I was like, no way. I just thought that was weird. It's almost like some form of telepathy or some connection between something. I mean, you guys can speculate about what that is. I just don't know what the hell to call that, other than like dream telepathy or whatever. Some kind of connection formed. But I just thought that was really cool. Is that a synchronicity, Jess? Would you consider that a synchronicity?
I don't know.
Probably.
So it's either a coincidence that has no meaning,
No,
or it's a
I would
coincidence that has
say
meaning.
when it comes to you, it's not a coincidence.
I'm special.
Well, I would honestly use a different word, but we're alive. But no, I'm just joking. But I just think, I just think when something like that, and I'm not saying that other people will be a coincidence, but I'm just uh, knowing Justin, there's more than that.
Okay, I pretty much know what you're saying. We can get to some of these comments. I know Darren had replied back, and there's some on Facebook. So just go to Darren, and then Missy can follow up on Facebook.
Sure. Darren says money that she had in cards for her kids, keys to her race car, but the keys constantly come back, but in different locations.
So keys to a car and money out of a card? Is that what he said?
Yeah, you know how like when you get like birthday money or Christmas money, they're in in cards. I'm assuming they have money in the cards, and then the money comes up missing.
But the keys come back to a race car.
Yes.
I'll have to think about that one.
Yeah, they They come back.
I don't know about astral projection, William. Go ahead, Missy.
Okay, I have two questions. Ed asked, why is blood so important in rituals and with spirit attraction to blood?
Um, my knowledge of that type of magic and the occult isn't very large, but blood is a component of life force, and it can also bind your soul or your spirit in ways. Like if you write out a contract in your own blood, or if you write, any type of sigil or any type of spell in your own blood will bind you to that magic. It's either a way to bind yourself to something or to use life force energy. That's the component from blood. It's almost like a sacrificial act as well. I this is awful to say, but this reminds me of something a friend of mine did in high school. I don't know if I brought it up on the show before. I may have. But we had a group of friends, and my friends are very sick, okay? They're crazy. And one of my friends, well, the other friend said, "Hey, can I have this? Can I have a donut?" He had a bag of donuts there, and he's like, "No, you can't have a donut." And he kept on begging for one. And he's like, "Okay, I'll let you have a donut if you sign your soul away to me with your own blood on this piece of paper. Then I'll give you the donut." So he did. He shows me this freaking piece of paper he signed with his own blood. There's blood everywhere. I mean, yeah, that's the best thing I can answer. I can Google it, but you can go ahead and ask the second one, Missy, while I'm Googling this. No, Google, I don't want you to work on my phone.
Okay. Justin, do you have any haunted objects?
Not. I haven't had any objects that were claimed to be haunted, or do I? I don't think. Let me think. I do have objects that were taken like from haunted locations, like bricks from haunted buildings. I used to have for a long time. Used to had soil from the crawl space of the Monroe House. Any items that's been haunted. I can't think of anything specifically. I'm taking it you have a story where you have experienced something from an object. Blood in a spell signify. We got any other comments on YouTube or
I have a
Facebook?
question, but I was going to wait until you were done with what you're doing.
Okay. Yeah, I will go ahead and answer. Google says blood represents the spirit of a person or animal. Therefore, it can be used to influence their spirit when included in spell casting. So if it's your own blood, that would apply. If it's someone else's blood, that would apply. So it represents the life force of the spirit, like I said. You can either use your blood or that of someone else, depending on the nature of your spell. So I was right. Yay! Go ahead.
Okay, Hannah Spalding asks, how can you let yourself be more open or aware of the paranormal? Are there certain things I can do?
Yes. Yep. You can meditate. You can try. One of the things my mother taught us to do or had us to try when we're investigating was to breathe. And it's basically a form of meditation. You just try to relax and try to breathe and try not to, I see you there, Sin City. What's up, man? Yeah, just try to not ground yourself. You could definitely go on a vegan diet. That's one way to really kick it into gear, Hannah. Hannah Spalding asked that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Change your diet. Take out all the meats. Pretty much try to go vegan, completely full vegan. And that will definitely increase your spiritual ability, but you won't be as grounded. So that's a side effect. Yeah, you could try to, meditate. You can try to use different type of things like certain crystals, certain items that raise your vibration. If you want to get into the nuts and bolts, you can kind of ask Jess what she does, or you can message me later after the show, and we can kind of. It's kind of I have to ask some questions first because it's kind of different for everybody.
She's
so there
right
might be.
there. When I just seen her last night, and she's right there. She just needs a little.
Maybe just talking to me on the phone might push her over the edge.
Pushes
And it
me
has
to the edge.
It hasn't. It's not just these girls. I've talked to several other people. The people I haven't even met after talking to them on a show or online, and just call them up on the phone, and boom, it's like all they need to do is talk to me. I don't know what it is, but maybe getting into a certain mindset.
Well, that's
helps.
like when I used to call you just to shoot the shit, you know. I mean, and then I would be like, it would just. I would always joke around, say I was, I'm taking your energy, but it would raise me.
Right. It's just I think it's just getting into a certain mindset, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did Justin ever feel like he was being taken over by a spirit? I've definitely felt it try to. Several times. The last time it happened was at the Monroe house when we were shooting the documentary that's coming out in March. I can kind of explain how it felt. That's my son using the bathroom. Thanks, or Braylon. Thanks a lot. I felt a strange, warm, tingly energy on the outside of me, trying to get, it feels like it's trying to envelop you. I did feel that at the Archive of the Afterlife. Long time ago, I felt like I was being psychically attacked, but none of them were successful. But I believe that I have. What made you get into the paranormal? Well, Hannah says, I've always wanted to try being a vegan, honestly, and I just bought a new agate crystal necklace. Ew. Okay. What made me get into the paranormal? My dad dying. I've always been interested in it. I've always, been curious about the afterlife, the occult. I grew up, 2 different places I lived were extremely haunted. Well, one place was the most haunted place I've ever been. Stuff had happened like all day, every day. And that's very, very rare for something like that to happen. But when my dad died, that pretty much changed everything. He died very young at 54. So that's what got me into the paranormal, is losing someone that close to me. Do you want to go? Did I get everything on YouTube there, Jess? Or
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, I see Melissa Grubbs chimed in.
Yeah. And Daryl and Adam jumped on.
Okay.
Becky had a question. She said, have y'all ever tried the human pendulum?
Someone else asked that on another show. The human pendulum.
She explained it. She explained it. You want me to read her comment?
Yeah.
She said, I did it at OSPH. You have 4 people around you and open yourself up as a conduit, and they ask questions, yes or no, and your body answers by how you move, forward or backwards. Okay. Not sure how I feel about it, though, because to me, it would be too easy to manipulate.
Yeah. If you got to think about that, but then you also got to think about someone being jumped in a way that's unfavorable, unwanted. Like, I think Missy would be the best candidate for it, but I don't know if I'd want to put her out there. She would have to know exactly what was there and what was going to manipulate her body. I wouldn't suggest doing that unless you're trying to get jumped. I mean, it's the same thing like with Ouija boards and dowsing rods and pendulum work, but even more so. Like you're inviting something to go into your body, right? Is that basically it?
Yeah.
So that does not come without consequence. I wouldn't try that. It's just it seems like there's too many cons than pros. Okay, I think we have some more questions here, right?
Not on Facebook.
Becky was replying to Sandy about the human pendulum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Monroe house is freaking loud to me. Yeah, he always says that he hears voices and they get louder and louder, especially when he tries to sleep there. They don't let him sleep. Who else do we have here? We got Billy Cook here. Is that true? Is he on the YouTubes? Yep, he is. He's waving. Ask me a question, Billy. It's Q&A night. It don't even have to be paranormal. You can troll me if you want to. Give me your best shot.
Let me log into my other YouTube channel then. I'm just joking.
Yeah. Nice dick brush, bro. I swear to God, that was the best troll anyone has come up with yet.
You have to tell a story for the people that doesn't know.
No. It's enough that I just mentioned it again. Some people come along and then they'll make fun of the way you look or something about something. I've yet to hear anything yet that would make that was funny after the when it wasn't funny that night, but after that night, everybody in my group kept on saying that, and it became funny. So yeah, I get to hear about that for a year at least. Table tipping.
We have 19 people watching on RU.
Is that it? There could be more. It's beating Justin Brown Paranormal Research's Facebook page right now by 1.
Yep. It's beating YouTube.
It sure is. Well, yeah, by 1.
It keeps fluctuating.
It's Team RU Media Network right now. We should have a competition who can get the most views. So everybody on RU Media, share out the stream. Everybody share it. Whoever gets the most viewers wins something. What do they win? I don't have much to
session.
A remote Reiki session? No, let's not do that. It all says 17 now. I see. Who did I see that chimed in? Carrie Lynn Forgix. What's up, Carrie? Haven't seen you on a chat in quite a long time. Yep, you caught me live, girl. Give me your best shot. We're doing Q&A freestyle. No topics. We're just shooting a breeze, but we're trying to keep it paranormal, but it probably will turn crazy any
That's
moment.
why we're not actually having a conversation. Because we always get off topic. William asked, what was your scariest or most alarming investigation?
Well, Waverly Hills comes to mind. The first time I was there with our group. I have to say at House of Wills, I definitely felt very apprehensive would be a really good way to explain it. The vibe there is just ugh. But I definitely think Waverly Hills Sanatorium. I mean, from Jessica's standpoint, I mean not Jessica, she wasn't there, but Missy's standpoint, would you think that was the most alarming, freaky that you've seen me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you kind of explain to William what, from your viewpoint, what was going on? Like, what do you remember about that?
Oh, Waverly, you were actually live streaming.
No, I was the very first thing that happened was during the tour.
Oh yeah, that was scary as hell. He scared me that night. Oh God. He walks in and he looks around and he goes, "Yep, I'm gonna die," and I'm like, "What?" And Derek looks at me. He's like, "Don't leave him. Don't walk away from him." Like, what am I supposed to do? He's like, "I don't know." But
yeah, she comes up beside me and she's grabbing my wrist. And I'm like, "Are you taking my pulse?" She's like, "Yep." She's like Nurse Missy. But essentially, Tina Mattingly doesn't let people film her walkthroughs anymore. So I was ready to film. She's like, "No, you can't do that." I was like, "Oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm just going to have to walk around and listen to people at that point in time." And as soon as you go in through that tunnel and go into the first floor, that main hallway where the x-ray room is and the morgue down that way, if you turn right, it's a death tunnel. But we went down by the morgue. Once we made it down by the morgue, it really got bad. But that whole hallway made me feel like someone just told me that you're going to die and there's nothing you can do about it. You have, like, someone just said, you're going to die next week, or you're going to die right now. You're about to die. And it was just kept doing compounding over and over and over again. And I just felt my heart sinking. And it was just like this most craziest dread. Like, everybody knows that they're going to die eventually, but this feeling felt like you know exactly when you're going to die, and it's going to be like right now, or like very, very soon. And it was just like this kind of dread that makes you almost, I was almost outside myself. Like, I felt weird. Okay. That's all I could say. And Tina's like, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." She's like, "You need to go outside." I was like, "No, this is why I'm here. I'm not going outside. This is why I am here." And I kept on connecting. I felt like Amy Allen through that whole tour. And I was hitting on things, and she was asking me this, and she's like, "Yep, you're right. Yep, you're right." And I was just like in sync with that place. But it kind of peaked when I did my isolation session up on the 4th floor. Shit hit the fan then. I was hearing bomb sirens, people talking through the PA system, and of course the PA system's not operational. I heard a whistle. I heard people talking, people moving. That was actually live streamed, and that's on YouTube and Facebook. So yeah, that would be it, man.
APK, excuse me, Racing asks, what does it mean when you see something out of the corner of your eye?
All right. Well, I can give you a two-sided answer. One side would be, out of your peripheral vision, you don't quite see what it is. So your imagination will try to fill in the blank. If you see some movement out of the corner of your eye, if it's late at night and you already think your house is haunted, or you're watching a scary movie and you think you're on high alert, you may perceive that as something paranormal. On the other hand, there's certain proteins and certain things on your eye that might make it possible for you to see ghosts, shadow people, and other things out of the corner of your eye more than out of the front of your eye. There's proteins floating under your eye all the time, and there's this theory I have about cry4 cryptochrome proteins in the eye, and the level of that protein goes up and down throughout the day, but it allows scientifically the observed animals and insects being allowed to see the magnetic field lines that the Earth create as a shadow overlay of their vision so they can navigate. Well, if a ghost or a shadow person have any type of magnetic anomaly associated with it, that could be why you're seeing a shadow there, and that could be the reason why you see it with your eye but not recorded on a camera. So that could be a reason that you see something out of the corner of your eye. You girls have anything else to add to that? Jess has been seeing that.
And we've discussed this for over a year now.
Right.
Of what, believe the reasons why I see things out of the corner of my eye.
You think it's paranormal though, right? You think you're actually
Yeah, I mean,
spiritual.
I think just what you were talking about the extra stuff. I forget.
Cry4.
Yeah, that we've talked about of that, and it has a lot to do, and I think we've talked about it of having with the MS too, like that plays in some kind of. Didn't you say that before? Of having some.
Oh, if you have optic nerve lesions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could definitely mess with your sight. Yeah. You want to explore all options. You want to do the natural explanations first. And
see, when I see it, it's like that one time that I was sitting on the back porch and I was doing a reading, and I glanced because I saw something, and I saw a man sitting right next to me. So I mean, it's almost like a different feeling when I'm thinking it's paranormal than compared to, is there something in my eye?
Mm-hmm.
It's to me, to me, it's different. Because I do have some eye damage, but I just the feeling is different when you see a white haze, go through and you're looking and it's still there, then it disintegrates. It's I feel it's different. Hannah had a question. Actually, it was Shaylee's. Do you guys believe that someone can look at a stranger and see their death date?
Is it possible? Yeah, but not very. It's that kind of ability is rare. I think anything is possible when it comes to psychic phenomenon, but the burden lies in the proof and the outcome of that prediction. So if someone predicted such a thing and it happened, there lies your proof, and that would prove that it is possible. So if someone's told you your death date and it comes true, at least let us know what they said so we can observe if you died on that date, and then I'll be able to answer, yep, it's true. But I would say what's that kind of extraordinary claim, it would require extraordinary evidence. We are thinking about it, Joe. We're probably going to do it this year, but we need to get on the ball with booking that place. There was a lot of other comments. I know Becky said she sees a whole bunch of shit and she don't like it. I know she's told the recent thing at OSPH was
she also
crazy.
had a question. She wanted to know what your paranormal bucket list was.
It's my top two would be the Great Pyramids, and then the catacombs in Prague, and just any place like ancient that has ancient mysteries that no one knows about, that have tombs. I mean, those places definitely got to be super duper charged, because if you think about it, they're old. They have had all these spiritual things going on for the people believing in the spiritual things. And then you have all these people going to fueling those locations. I believe that is the recipe for like, oh my God type activity, but I could be wrong. I definitely want to go to OSPH. I want to go to Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. I want to do a private at West Virginia Penitentiary. Hopefully that'll happen sometime. The list is large, but I think on top, it would require me to travel like to Ireland, to Egypt, to Prague.
Gateway Paranormal's here.
What's up, Fioli?
Bill asked who was the coolest guy on your show on Friday night?
Danny.
Yeah. Danny needs a blowjob if anybody's given.
Oh my gosh, Justin!
I'm just saying. He said it.
You didn't get some things. It's like I just don't think that Justin would say on the show, and then he's like, "Oh, watch this, Jess." But I think Danny needs a girlfriend.
Yeah, he has a better chance of getting a BJ if he has a girlfriend.
Oh my!
Bill said, "I thought I saw my dead light out of the corner of my eye, but it's not delivered yet."
Just because you said that's going to take 7 more months, dude. You just jinxed yourself.
Bill, when it's shipped, I will send you a photo of your tracking number, so you don't have to wait for Josh to send it to you, because I usually mail it all.
I'm looking at my numbers now, so if they go down drastically after that comment, I'll know not to do that again. But if they go up, I know what to do.
Okay, Jess, how many do you have on YouTube?
I have 19.
I have 21 on the Justin Brown page, and 10 on RU.
We're doing fantastic. Brent Burris is here. Baffioli's here. Wes Storm's coming. I don't know how long Wes has been here. I just now noticed his comment. Yeah. Any
Wes
type of old castle.
Here, I think.
Loveland Castle is like 50 minutes away, and I still haven't investigated that. And it's supposed to be haunted. I don't know if it really is. I know that Paranormal Quest have events there. So
Hannah said, this isn't a question, but one time I was in the bathroom and I was washing my hands. It was maybe 10 at night. I heard little feet running across the door. The door frame shook and everything. I walked out. No one was there. Everyone was asleep, and Shaylee was in my room laying down, covered up in a blanket. I walked out in a hurry thinking somebody needed to go. So I ran out thinking someone was there, but nope.
Interesting.
She has a little girl in their house. I think, do you remember me talking to you about that?
Mm-hmm. Vaguely, but I do remember you mentioning it.
Gateway Paranormal says, I love the trailer for your new film coming up. Thanks, Gateway. I worked a lot, many hours on that. I wasn't even there, and it was very time consuming.
Yeah, we had 3 days to get footage for that, and I'm very glad that Deb Snyder was there to be interviewed, and she let me have the audio that's on the end of that. It's disturbing, and as soon as I heard it, I'm like, this is disturbing. This is definitely going to get people's interest as soon as they hear this. And thanks to Deb for actually sharing that, because when I first talked to her, she did not want attention at all. And I pretty much told her, I was like, look, people need to know that this stuff happens to people. And with this type of stuff in the right hands, you can do it out of respect, and you can teach people through the experiences people have in documentary filmmaking that these people have these experiences and at this location, and not just her. There's other people that have the experiences, and we're talking about the Monroe House and the Haunted Hartford City documentary we're going to be releasing. And that her story was like the craziest recent thing that I've heard come out of that location. And yeah, it's a crazy location. Okay, it's just crazy. Yeah, Deb is cool.
Wild Bill just got on RU, and he said first time viewer.
Wild Bill.
I
know RU Media, I think that's Dave Wolliver. He says Loveland Castle is insane. Every time I've investigated there, it's been scary. So I guess if Dave says that, then I gotta go then. Maybe we need to book it this year. But thanks, man. Thanks for telling me that we did a good job. I cannot wait to release that, and it's going to be cool, guys.
Gateway said we're leaving next week for a 3-day adventure in a location you're all familiar with for our next documentary on Amazon. Wonder what that is. Where?
Yeah. Now you got me wondering. Wild Bill. What's up, Fireball? Fireball's been a regular viewer here recently. Thanks to Bill, probably. Bill probably threatens. If you don't watch, we'll take back the box set. That's why he ordered another one, because he gave it to a Fireball. So yeah, we can do a plug. If you want to support us and support our documentaries, I think at the end of February, our box set that you can buy from our website, it's all 5 episodes on Blu-ray and 1 box set, plus a bonus disc with unedited interviews from the members of Interface Death, plus a gag reel that is hilarious. It's only $25, all Blu-ray. At the end of February, it's going to go off of, that's just like a special price. It'll go back to regular price. So if you want to do that, get it while it's hot. See who else we got. Josh recommended it to me a while back. Oh, location. Okay.
West Storm said off the grid paranormal team says hi. Bucket list for me is Tombstone.
Yeah. There's a lot of places in Virginia City that I'd like to go. There's that mansion there. Was it Mackey Mansion? And then there's what's the house or the hotel motel there? Someone help me. It's in Virginia City.
I have no idea.
I know which one you're talking about. Yeah,
that place. Sometimes you just can't access. Go ahead.
Gateway says, I would love to chat with you on here after the trailer is released. I'm assuming their trailer that they're going to be doing.
Oh, like if you want to go on the show, yeah, we'll put you on Necromancer, the Wednesday shows. I don't want to put you on here because we don't interview people in here.
Goldfield.
No, is that that's not in Virginia City. That's not in Virginia City. Haunted Hotel in Virginia City, Nevada. Let's just Google it. Um, Mackie Mansion's on here.
The Washoe Club.
The Washoe Club. That's it. Thank you.
Josh answered it.
I couldn't think of it. It's not even a hotel. It's like a. Is it a hotel? Was
It's
it a
hotel? Yes.
Okay.
It was like a hotel, brothel,
Okay.
speakeasy type thing.
Mm-hmm.
APK Racing. So, do you guys believe in heaven and hell?
Yes, I do, but I don't believe in the Christian's version of it. I believe that we can make our own heaven and hell. My form of spiritual beliefs is not orthodox. I believe that you create your own heaven and your own hell. For example, let's just say your life is going bad, either through mental illness or, many tragedies stacking up, or maybe it's just one that you're not able to handle, and it brings you so much pain and grief that the only way you see out of it is suicide. So you commit suicide. So when you go to try to find your happy memories, you really don't go to heaven, in my belief. When you commit suicide, you ended up trying to forget what happened. But when you go to find maybe like an old place, let's just relate this to the haunting at a house I grew up in. A firefighter killed himself because his wife cheated on him. So we believe that he returned to the house he sold us because he raised his kids and was married to his wife there while everything was happy. But when he got there, he seen us, and we were living in the house, and he kept on seeing us in the bedroom instead of his own kids, and he couldn't figure out why. And even though my mother would tell him why, he would say, okay, oh yeah. And the next time he would come around, he would snap out. He would forget about it and just relive this loop of a nightmare. Kind of like the show Ghost Loop proposes. That's why I thought it was an interesting concept. So that's what I believe. I don't believe that God makes a heaven, makes a hell, and puts you there if you're good or bad. I think you do it on your own. And I think hell is much worse than a pit of fire. Way worse than that. That's mine. I mean, you girls have anything to add to that?
I mean, I think there's a heaven and I think there's a hell. I think I'm more stronger on the religious aspect than what you are, Justin.
You think if you're bad, you go to a hell?
Yeah. Yeah.
Laura asked would they answer my question? And I don't see a question from Laura.
Laura Brownlow?
No. Laura
Heard.
Yeah, Heard on REO.
I see she's replying to Wild Bill. Let's see if we can find it here.
Or maybe she's asking Wild Bill. I don't know.
Laura, did you ask a question to us? If you did, I'm sorry if we missed it. You can re-ask it, and we'll make sure we get it this time. Yeah, I didn't see that she asked anything on my chat, but Face could be failing us.
David Fritz said, truth is in the Bible. There is no place in it that states anyone goes to heaven when they pass on.
Yeah, like based on my perception of what the Bible says, that we just chill out until Judgment Day. Until then, all of our souls aren't judged. So if you read it and perceive it that way, when we die, we're just in some sort of stasis. And that kind of goes along with the Old Testament book in the book of Samuel, where the witch of Endor rose Samuel's spirit to talk to Saul, to get information about the battle he was about to fight. And that would kind of explain why ghosts kind of like linger in a stasis until they're either summoned or maybe they're left to haunt places. But it doesn't talk about hauntings in the Bible at all that I know of. But there you have it. I mean, it does say that bodies will be risen out of their graves and souls will be judged, and all those that have not accepted Jesus Christ into their heart or God into so on and so forth. We'll go with they were made on Earth and wear the mark of the beast for a set amount of days, and then after that, everybody will be plummeting into hell from there on. I mean, I can't exactly remember the Book of Revelations. It's been a long time, but it's pretty grim. It's pretty grim indeed.
Gateway says the more and more we investigate the paranormal, the further I get from the actual Bible, but that's just him.
Like the further that the text explains what happens. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that the Bible definitely doesn't talk about. But I think everything's subjective. It's left up to our own, the way we perceive and understand what is in front of us. Like, you know, I kind of tell people a lot, or on occasion on this show and others, that I don't believe most of the time people's souls linger and people's souls haunt the location. Sometimes, yes. But most of the times it's a psychokinetic imprint of that person. Okay, I believe that most of the time people that haunt locations, it's not their soul per se. It's, we can leave behind psychokinetic imprints and versions of ourselves, multiple places, doing multiple things. It don't have to be the same things. And it's like it has its own intelligence, or it may act or behave like it's looping over and over. It could be like a residual effect. But I believe that a lot of times it's just the psychokinetic emanation or imprint. But that's just my theory. I actually don't know for sure. None of it makes sense to me. It has a great message, but it's just not my path. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that's good in the Bible. Like, there's lots of morals in there, and there's a lot of crazy stuff in there, especially in the Old Testament. Then what holds that imprint? My understanding is, just like the residue from food or or something physical can leave a stain on a surface, I believe that our bodies emanate an energy, a psychokinetic energy, the things that cause things to move on their own, like telekinesis, poltergeist agents that, you know, seem to move things around. Things, if you look into parapsychology, things, PK manifestations can do all kinds of things. So I believe that dead people even leave behind psychokinetic, you know, things, and it's just like a residue of energy, or it's like a stain, imprint that people leave in places like houses, homes, places they loved, places that, you know, maybe gone through some tragic life. You go to Auschwitz, and you maybe during the right environmental situation, you might hear people being gassed or people trying to escape a train car. That would be like a psychic residue. I very much believe that that's possible.
Okay, I have a question. And
Okay.
I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but it's kind of off the wall. Do you think the people that has abilities when they pass, the more likely you can communicate more?
Yep. And that kind of goes along with my belief in heaven and hell. I believe the strong. Okay, let's just say you're a Christian and you believe in what the Bible says is heaven. I believe you experience that. I believe if you believe in the Bible and you feel like you're being judged when you die, and you feel like you're going to go to hell for the things you've done, I believe that you create your own hell. But let's just say 100,000 years ago, before Christianity even was a thing, where do those people go? They're going to go to what their spiritual beliefs say they go to. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, to answer your question directly, yes, if you're a very psychically tuned or in tune person, you are going to be able to do things psychically in your disembodied form easier in general. I'm not going to say everyone.
Right.
That is definitely possible. Okay, let's see what else we got going on here in chat. People are still chatting away, I see. So West Storm says, so if you are a soul somehow trapped between heaven and hell, does that explain some paranormal activity? This is why we investigate locations to discover the answer. Maybe yes. That is the question we all want to know. Is it someone that's actually stuck? Is it your soul that's actually stuck? I believe in most cases it is not. I believe most of the time what we're chasing is echoes. Echoes of what people once were. Sometimes those echoes are advanced. Okay? Sometimes those echoes are just like you're speaking to someone. Just they look like them, talk like them. It's like artificial intelligence, spiritual artificial intelligence. That's the best way I can describe it. And what's strange is people experience things from living people that are the same, like doppelgangers. If anybody's experienced seeing someone walk into a room and they follow them and they don't see them, and then they appear out of the parking lot and it's like, hey, were you just in that room? No, wasn't me, but you saw them. That is kind of stuff I'm talking about. You know, there's things out there that are so bizarre that what the Bible teaches and what we all think in general, like everybody thinks that we have a soul, where, you know, religion and culture teaches we have a soul. So that's the disembodied form of ourselves, and it kind of gets entangled with our memories and our thoughts. And that's what we take with us. But I believe it's not that simple. I believe that it's almost like every time we go throughout a day, we save something on like a flash drive or an SD card, and we kind of like drop it here, drop it there. People come along and they either purposely or unpersonally access that information, and it can play back just like it's a movie, or they can interact with it just like it's virtual reality. So it's like an overlaid experience of maybe like if you go to Gettysburg and the cannons are getting shot and you hear the soldiers marching through the fields and shooting each other and stuff like that. That's the stuff I'm talking about. I don't believe the souls of those soldiers are still there fighting a war. It doesn't make sense to me. What makes sense to me is that that's a psychic imprint. That is energy that loops and stays in the environment. And for some psychic ability, for some reason, you guys can tell me what you think. That is what I believe is going on. What's Matt have to say, Gateway? I think that since consciousness energy will continue to live for an eternity, whether we are at peace or have things that we are angry about or not okay with when we die, that is an eternal peace. Okay. I like that. Or an eternal torment, aka heaven or hell. Yeah, I get that. I totally understand that.
APK Racing, some people say all spirits are demons. Is that true?
No. And not all demons are demon-like. Not all demons are demon-like. Let me say that again. Not all paranormal entities are demons, and not all demons are demon-like. Yes, some demons are the boogeyman. Some demons are what you fear they are. Some demons are not harmful to you at all. They are not out to get you. Some demons are just out to turn you away from Christ, from God, from, an angelic force, a good force. Sometimes they will do that in ways that are tricky. Sometimes they will do that in ways that seem very appealing to you. Sometimes they will make you not believe in God at all. And that's all they do. That's all they're there to do. So all this paranormal pulp culture out there that suggests that all demons are this horned, red-skinned entity from the 7 layers of hell. They're out to just possess you and to, consume your soul and your body. No. Yes, there may be some cases where something like that happened, but I haven't come across it. I can only read about it and see it in movies and take people's word. So it's much more complicated than that. if you ask me. You
John
girls,
Cole said, "Did you get your new tri-field natural meter yet, and are you playing with it?"
yes, I did get it. I guess a month or so back. I did play with it just to make sure it worked. It's very, very weird. You can't carry it around. You have to let it sit there, and depending on what setting you have it on, you can't even move around the thing because it will pick up variances in your own body, the energy field that your body puts out. Very sensitive. So it's going to be something that you want to definitely sit down and have very much control over the environment. Any help or experience if you had with your meter, be my guest of letting me know. Please let me know any pointers or any type of information you have about it.
David Fritz said, I'm asking this for a reason. How many errors did they dig through before they found the city of Troy?
I don't know. How many arrows?
Eras. ERAS.
I'll ask Google how many eras did they dig through to find the city of Troy? The Troy is an ancient city in Turkey that has been identified as being the setting. Oh, it's not telling me. Yeah, that is. It's not giving me a direct answer. So why don't you go ahead and answer that for us, and let us know where you're going with that. You got my attention. Drives my cat's nuts when they set it off. Okay. Yeah, you can set it to make noises. How many time periods errors? Okay. I don't know, David. Let us know. Sandy saying, is Christy watching now? She's probably making. Okay. Hi, Christy. Hi, wife.
Your lovely wife is watching.
That's right.
Your lovely, sweet wife.
A demon is not a spirit. Yeah, technically, no. But it is, you can classify it as a spiritual entity.
But then the next comment was some demons can even be helpful, but they might want a favor later.
Right. That's kind of what I was alluding to. I agree with that possibility.
He said 19 time periods on top of Troy. 9.
Okay. What's the point of that, David? Were you going somewhere with that, or are you just teaching us history? Because if that's all, then thanks.
She said, hi, husband.
Hello. Becky can't hear anything. Uh-oh, Becky. Refresh the page. Reload the page. So what else do we got going on in the land of Missy and Jess? Anything interesting? Anything at all?
No, I'm just not looking forward to next month. I am, but I'm not. I'm going to be extremely busy.
Oh, you can tell us all about that. That's something to talk about for a minute.
What?
How you're going to be missing in action because of Emma's...
Oh, yeah. Emma has plenty of softball games, and so there will be most shows I won't be able to be on.
Starting March.
In mid-March, yeah. And it'll continue for about 2 months. But so if I'm available, I will be here.
Who wants to take Jess's place for the time being?
Not everybody raise your hand at once.
David Fritz said residual haunting. So, okay, that's where you're going with. So that place is an onion, and I believe a lot of places that you go to are onions, and it's the fun part is peeling back the layers and the skins of the onion, because you never know what time period you're connecting with or experiencing. Maybe you're not even connecting with the time period.
PK, what do you guys think about aliens? Go ahead, Justin.
I believe the possibility of aliens is higher than ghosts. And there's something going on. Yep. Yeah, there's people being messed with. I believe that there's a conspiracy about aliens and government, high-ranking government officials, maybe some private sector of the government. I definitely believe that there's aliens out there, and there's some that are trying to help our world, some that are not. As far as how detailed I can get with that, not very detailed. That's not my area of expertise, although I have watched a lot of documentaries and read about what people speculate, what people believe about them. I do not believe that all the crop circles people see are from aliens. I do not believe that. It's possible that some may be, but I don't believe that I think crop circles are man-made hoaxes. Until I get evidence otherwise. I know that people out there, the UFO people, will say, oh, the radiation that they get from the crop circles and how the wheat and the corn is bent and so on and so forth. I'm like, There was those gentlemen, was it in England, that came out and said that they were doing them. I think it was England. Anybody can correct me.
Becky suggested it's a good thing I can read lips, so I knew to refresh the page.
I'm taking that worked.
Yeah. She said, aliens, scary little bastards.
Heck yeah, they are.
Josh said the Autobots are helping us out.
Autobots.
Autobots, Transformers.
I know how's that help me?
They're helping us. They're protecting us from the aliens.
Oh, the movie. Okay, yeah.
And Josh,
okay.
Can you come here, please? I've sent you a message, but you didn't get it. Okay, sorry.
You need to be
I
excused.
need to go potty.
Just go.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Just go. It's been over an hour.
You go across the hall. I have to go downstairs and across the freaking house. And
Missy, if you have to go, you're next.
I already went.
Oh, that's right.
I just set Derek up.
Yeah, you didn't even ask. You're just like, I'm just going. Yeah, you don't have to ask me to go. Shit.
I just sent him a text and said, I need a cigarette. He came upstairs.
So, yeah, we have a documentary coming out in March, and I got to work my tail off to get it done. And it's only going to be available for rent or watching on our website or on Blu-ray. It's not going to be on YouTube. So that's what that's going to happen. That's how that's going to go down. And it's going to be our most recent attempt at a commercial film that's not released to the public. I will let you guys know that we will be at Hillview Manor this year. And we will also be at Ohio State Reformatory. Some of you may have heard us speak about that. Those are the two main investigations that we're doing this year that we have booked. We will be at the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash in July 24th through the 27th in Gettysburg. We will be at the West Virginia Penitentiary Paracon June 27th. So if you're in those areas, those places are cool. There's a lot of celebrities and guest speakers and vendors at two cool locations. So if you can make it, check it out. Yeah, it did go over my head. The Transformer thing. Some things definitely do go over my head easily, especially when my brain's not totally screwed on.
I just said normal things always do.
Yeah, it definitely does. We're going to be doing two docu-series this year. I don't want to say, hopefully one is at the Archive of the Afterlife. The other one is a cryptid documentary that we're going to do. Hopefully those things happen. Never done those things. Go ahead. I'm
sorry. John Cool says wear a Browns jersey at Hillview Manor. We can just grab Josh's out of his closet.
I'd rather chop something off and eat it, John. Not going to happen.
Missy, that word talk.
I would rather. I don't know. Definitely not wearing a Browns jersey. Why do you say that? Will that anger the spirits? Will that get me evidence?
Yes, Matt Filoli, you need to go to Gettysburg Bash.
Dude, If you haven't been to Gettysburg, that's the time to go. You're going to see, you know, there's there's porters there from Tennessee Wraith Chasers, right? And we got some people from Ghost Hunters crew going to be there, like Daryl and who else?
Mustafa.
Help me out with the guests because I'm terrible remembering that. Lori Johnson.
I'll
look it up.
The guys from Ghost Sleep were going to be there.
Sean Austin and Eric Vitale. Lots of people, dude. The vendors there, it's like, what is it, like 40 vendors?
Yeah, something like that. It's huge.
The event, the causes that they do, the Heroes for Hire and the Wounded Warriors, those two things are freaking cool to be a part of and see how they do that. Like the charities, the two main charities that they do, that is just worth it. You see all kinds of people from the Midwest and East Coast there, man. It is the Paracon to hit up.
Becky said I would do a show, but I have no fancy equipment.
You would do a show like this show, or?
Yeah. But she has no fancy equipment.
All you need is your phone. You don't need fancy equipment. There's people just doing it on their phone. Just do that. That's how you get started. I want to see Becky on a show. I'd troll her.
Aw.
No, she was to do one of your shows. She was to fill in for Jess one night.
Oh, all you need is a phone.
But she doesn't have a fancy microphone or anything.
Yeah, I'd be lucky if I'd get that.
Gilson says Night Watch Paranormal will be there.
That's right. So there's a lot of groups that we affiliate and talk, are friends with, like EPS, Night Watch Paranormal. There's so many groups. I can't think of them. Lyle Lotz's Twisted Paranormal Society is going to be there. Dennis S. Locke will be there. Gavin Kelly will be there with his wife. There's just so many people. Like everybody's there, I think. I think Gavin's going back.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's on the list.
Okay.
I would start naming these off, but I can't pronounce them.
Well,
Lori's going to be there again.
Send me the information.
Well, Mike King from Destination America. I'm scrolling. You know how they have it. Rachel Hoffman, Matt Warner, Courtney Biggins, Kira, Christopher Deceased.
Paratalk Radio is going to be there. Ted Wolf and Psychic Cindy.
Eric Knapp, Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
Bear Murray from Ghost Hunters.
Everybody be there.
Everybody but Matt, so Matt needs to change that.
Yeah, Gateway Paranormal could be there. Dude, it's only like $155 for a booth, but if you don't want to do that, it's a 3-day event, dude, and it's killer. It's killer. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, that's what we got going on. I really want to do the Mothman Fest, have a vendor at the Mothman Festival this year. We gotta talk Josh into it. Can we do it? Just, I do want to thank the people that has shared and liked the stream. TJ Shelton, thank you for liking the stream. Christy Brown, thank you. Derek for sharing it out. David Fritz, thank you for liking the stream. Susan Zimmerman, thank you for liking the stream. Barrett Burris, thank you for sharing. Kiefer Kimbo followed.
Paranormal Reporter said I will be selling my reboxed set of the Interface Death Blu-rays.
He's going to put it on black market.
Melissa Tanner has liked the stream. I don't know if she's still watching, but if you are, thank you, Melissa. Jenny Lynn has liked the stream. Crystal Buchanan. West Storm just liked the stream. Aaron Galloway just liked the stream. See what I did there?
I think that your wife only liked it to see the zombie running out of your mouth.
That has been an incentive for many people. Michelle Millions. I think I mentioned Crystal. Sandy Griffin. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It helps. Anything helps. Yes, you guys are awesome. Do you want me to keep going? Do you like us? I mean, we still have 19 people on Justin Brown. We have 5 people on RU Media, 16 on YouTube. I mean, this show is alive and well. And I have you guys to thank for it. The girls, the viewers, the community out there that, watches us every Tuesday, every other Wednesday, and every Friday. You guys are freaking awesome. Look at Brent doing the zombie thing. There we go.
Somebody screenshot that, please, and send it to me.
I got to practice that. There we go. I got to practice that so people can like the stream and the zombies like dancing in my mouth. Paracon Haunted Savannah, Georgia in April.
There you go, Jess.
When you say Savannah, Georgia, it gets my attention.
Look at your messages, Jess.
Oh, yeah. Missy got
Thank you for subscribing. Melina. How do you pronounce that? Melaina.
Melania.
Melania?
Melania.
Really? No, that can't be right. Well, thank you for subscribing.
Christy sent it to me too.
Yeah, I was like, sometimes I have to pronounce these poor people's names that I butcher. And it's just like, you can't even pronounce my name. I'm going to unsubscribe for him.
The zombie is running on his lip now.
RU says, maybe we pick a big location and have an RU Media Network con in the coming years. If that's not Madison Seminary? Like, what other location would it be, Dave? I don't know. Would it be in Ohio? It would have to be in Ohio. Why would you make an own Paracon out of your own state? It's going to be in Ohio. Where in Ohio, though? If it's not Madison Seminary.
Eddie sent me a picture, too. Just want to throw that out there.
I do want to go back to Madison Seminary at some point. If it's not for an investigation for maybe their Paracon or something. I 100% planned on going to Gettysburg this year, but we shall see. Okay.
I'm with Becky. She said I'm ready for warmer locations.
I used not to care about the weather, but as I get older, I care because it sucks the more you get old.
Trust me,
it just
I know.
Really sucks. It really, really sucks. I kind of want to do a ghost town series, but I don't know if I'll get to it this year because there's a lot of cool ghost towns in the area that we are in. Gateway says they're mainly excited for the Paracon we're speaking at because I got a haunted hotel to stay at and got it approved to investigate and film. I would understand why. I would very much understand. Mission accomplished. The zombie.
Thank you, Eddie.
The zombie has emerged.
I got it from Eddie, Missy, and Christy.
A film festival. Where would a cool place for that be? Yeah. Nothing's coming to my mind that would be a great place for it, like I don't know.
Wow, Bill, if it was 65, we would probably go out. But at 23, no.
I'm 40. I'll be 41 in April. Am I too young to be complaining about getting old? Is that what Jen's saying?
No. Oh, no. Yeah. How old's Justin again? He's 40. He'll be 41.
It keeps going up. It never stays the same or goes down.
We'll be traveling for my birthday.
We won't be this year for mine.
What's that, Missy?
We won't be this year for mine.
Yeah, we'll be traveling.
We can make that
happen.
Friday. We can make that happen for you.
Where are you going to send me, Justin?
I'll let you decide. It's your birthday. Where you want to go for your birthday? She's like, oh no.
Penhurst.
You want to go to Penhurst? Aaron says, I may have missed it, but are you guys going to the conference in Lancaster next month? No, we are not. We are not going to Lancaster. Thought so, yes, too young to complain about weather. That's after 45. Okay. General 7 makes the rules about when you can complain. I'm on arthritis medication already, so does that give me a freebie? Am I allowed?
I don't have kneecaps.
So if something's not there, how that means it doesn't hurt.
No, that means it hurts worse.
That means all the scarring around the area where they flayed them out of your legs hurt. That's what hurts.
Oh gosh. Josh said I want a birthday party this year since I'll be 40.
Dude, I hope you're pitching in. Hookers and cocaine is expensive.
Oh my, what?
It's a joke.
No,
Gosh.
I didn't say. I just can't believe you said that. I don't know. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised.
This is Justin Brown's show.
After hours.
Yeah, this is after 8 cups of coffee and hardly no sleep through the weekend. Yeah. I should talk about how great my viewers are again, because they are. Everybody that has supported anything that I've done or Interface at Death has done or Deadlight has done definitely has earned a special place in my heart, and that's not a joke. It's the only reason that kind of keeps you going, right? It's the only, if no one watched the content we did and the films that we put out and no one showed interest at all, I mean, there is a Para-Unity community live and well from where I'm sitting. Josh is up for hookers and cocaine.
Becky Compton said he can't do cocaine without hookers.
No, it's like peanut butter and jelly. It's a rule. I have herniated disc and sciatica. Does that count? Yeah, dude, sciatica sucks, man. Like, going to Gettysburg, an 8-hour drive, like, the sciatica is like, ha, dude, is your ass hurt? You want to jump up out of this car right now, don't you? And I'm like, it does. Cocaine sounds good. See, this is the kind of people we attract. Okay, I bet we got more viewers since I mentioned cocaine. I bet. I bet everybody.
Like, that's a normal conversation. Like, you always bring it up when we're just talking amongst each other. So I guess I don't know why I think it's strange that you actually brought it up on live, but.
Oh, dang.
She's talking poop.
Pam Bender said, come home for your birthday, Josh. We'll have a birthday party for you. Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh,
I don't know.
Chuck E. Cheese isn't the same as what it used to be.
Don't they frown on cocaine and hookers at Chuck E. Cheese?
Probably.
Pam, I don't know if that's going to work. Your goal for Gettysburg is to eat at Hunt's Battlefield Fries. He asks me that every year.
We're going to have to do it this year.
Someone has to remind me because I forget that shit easily.
John, remind us during the bash.
John, You're going to have to kidnap me and just take me there or something. I don't know. We're going to have to get it done.
Well, somebody's going to have to take you there.
Fireball says male hookers, please.
Yeah, if you come, we'll accommodate everybody's sexual preference. Well, we fill out an application or something, a wish list. You have to bring your own. Gosh, that would be a sight to see, wouldn't it? Everybody would have the coronavirus, be high as a kite. Good times.
Betty says they recycle pizza at Chuck E. Cheese.
No way. Do they do that?
That might be a West Virginia thing.
Is that where she's from?
Yeah, she lives towards Charleston.
Okay, I knew that's what there was a reason why we liked her, right?
That's right.
Male hookers are mostly gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but if you're looking for more masculine male strippers, perhaps. Okay. I don't know what I'm going to do for that information.
I'm sorry, John. I accidentally, for some reason, it asked me to hide your comment or approve it, and I accidentally hit it.
Reject? Uh-oh,
No,
he
I
might...
just hit it.
Oh.
And I'm sorry, I didn't even get to read it. I'm sorry, John.
He said a bad word.
West Storm said, "You guys are great. The Ghost Guild is the reason I heard of your show. Could there be hooker spirits?"
Yeah, like brothels when we go to them.
Rhodes Hotel.
Yeah, Rhodes Hotel popped in my head, and there's many places that have claims and stories and history with, prostitutes throughout, the times of our country, even in foreign countries. Sure. I mean, if spirits exist, they can be anybody and everybody. All walks of life are fair game. Hopefully we haven't scared away the Ghost Guild people. I don't know if they talk freely like we do or not. I like to season it in. I like to give a little bit of the craziness that I am. Just so you guys know what's real and what's fake. I think naked men are weird. I'd rather look at women. I'm straight, y'all. Let's read that again. I think naked men are weird.
Said.
I'd rather look at women. I can't fault you, but I'm a guy. We'll just leave that as it is, Betty. I'll take it all, Fireball. Hey, Jen's a poet. Marilyn she's getting a kick out of this. Gateway, I'm not impressed by Chuck E. Cheese's pizza. Maybe the one I live next to is not great.
Well, you remember when we were kids, like Chuck E. Cheese, they would have the robot singing, and they would come out in the suit, and you could interact. And I mean, the ones that I've been to when Emma was little, they don't have any of that anymore.
They kind of do, but every time I see that happen, kids freak out and cry. Like, big people in, like, animal costumes freak kids out. Almost always. Like, they need to bring out, like, a little mouse, like a toddler in a mouse costume. Then they bring out, like, a slightly older mouse. Got to build up to the 6'7" boozed up mouse.
Spirit stalkers in the house.
Uh-oh, Eric Wilburn. Got some good paranormal talk going on here. This show had no topic, man, and this is after we're an hour and 45 minutes in, and we're just being retarded right now.
Becky said Nelson can handle it. He goes to sex stores for trigger objects.
I bet that is that Kelly's doing or is that Nelson's doing? I wonder about that.
Never know.
That's as good as place. Everybody likes sex, pretty much. So you're bound to get a reaction out of like a suction cupped dildo to. I mean, from anybody, right? You're walking along, you're like, boo! Oh my god!
Look how big!
You don't see that every day. And there's the ghosts that walk over there and just like. Boing. That's what Missy does. That's her plans in the afterlife. She's going to boing dildos. She's going to go along and just interrupt everybody's foreplay. I knew it. I knew that about you. Chuck E. Cheese, home of that giant rat. It's terrifying. It's terrifying.
I have a lot of.
It's a very educational experience on many levels, for sure. But that was over 12 years ago.
Okay.
I had a lot of birthday parties at Chuck E. Cheese. And they had a showtime, and they would sing "Happy Birthday" to you, and
it's been 4 or 5
like
years.
You're a rock star. 5 years old, yeah.
All I know is it's expensive, and the food isn't that great. You end up spending like $100 on the games for freaking kids. But Dad, I got to get that thing that's worth 5,000 tickets. Then don't suck at the games.
Gateway, I believe, was talking to Spirit Stalker about maybe what she missed. He says, basically what you've missed: cocaine, hookers, Chuck E. Cheese pizza, plus the 9 layers of the city of Troy.
And aliens.
Oh, yep. Got aliens, Matt.
And suction cup dildos.
I don't feel right just saying him Matt. Like, I always said, like, Matt Fioli. Like, I don't know why. I can never...
Do you feel like you got to say it in an Italian way?
Well, no, not necessarily. At that time I did. But, I mean, it's always Matt Fioli. Like, I can't just say, yo, it's Matt. It's Matt Fioli.
Yo, it's Matt. Yo, it's Matt. Yo.
Paranormal reporter said my vibrator experiences battery drainage at investigations.
They're trying to tell you something, you flamer.
John Cool says my old recording office was next door to a Chuck E. Cheese, and we always had a rat problem.
That's very ironic.
Don't
I hear
you think?
Alanis Morissette is like popping into my head right now. I remember getting a casting call for Naked and the Paranormal from the Naked and Afraid folks back in the day. They would have needed to use a whole lot of blur on me. No, just baby oil. A lot of baby oil. Or just, they could tar and feather you too. That would be more entertaining than that freaking show. God, that show's horrible.
Wild Bill said I had many birthdays in a van down by the river.
Whoa. Please elaborate. We want to know more. We need to know what happens in a panel van down by the river on your birthday.
Becky Compton said, paranormal reporter, you got to get better batteries.
Yeah, you need to get one that plugs into the wall, bro. Yeah. You need to get AC adapter. Drain that, ghosts. Ha! And all of a sudden, the whole block goes out. Next move. What's your next move? Lightning bolt comes out of the heavens and strikes you. Fries your brain. Yeah, it's my fault. It's totally my fault, Laura. I'm driving this ship straight into the gutter.
Jen says cocaine orgies, never appreciated it at the time.
Yeah. It's funny what we don't appreciate until after the fact. You have to evaluate all possible things in this life. Some things that may seem a curse could be a blessing.
Well, I'm happy that like some of them got to see the real Justin Brown.
Well, our viewers had went up on my blog page. So that says a lot. I mean, we're almost 2 hours in, and all we had to do...
Yeah, so it's more like, oh, Justin's not always an asshole.
You know what I've thought about doing? I've thought about letting Patreon supporters or anybody that's donated to the show stick around on our Skype call after the show.
Gosh.
Oh, wow. Wow.
We'll see how real good fans they are. We'll see how they are.
It's either you get an increase or a decrease.
Well, Casey joins every week almost.
If I haven't scared them away by now, they're not going anywhere. See, I have to test the waters. I slip in a little bit of realism here and there. I try not to offend anybody.
Well,
and I realize
Bill said if this van is rocking, don't bother knocking.
Words to live by, maybe. But yeah, if I don't try to be blatantly offensive, because I don't think that's cool at all. I don't try to be. Comedy, kind of walks that thin line. You're bound to offend somebody. But, people with disabilities, it's not funny to make fun of them at all. People, not make fun of any kind of group of people, to be honest. Even if you like cocaine and hookers, I love you.
I knew you were going to say that.
It's nothing. You're all God's children. So,
okay,
where does this leave us?
Is Matt Fiole has a question. What are your top 3 cameras?
That I have or that I want? if it's what I want an Area Alexa, I want a Red and Black Magic, probably Black Magic's best camera. Ursa, I'd settle for an Ursa Mini. Area Alexa would be my first choice, obviously, and a Red and a Ursa Mini would be nice too. So yeah, there you go. But they're not practical for night vision. Like, you could probably mod some nice camera to do night vision. I know some military probably has some badass night vision stuff that we would like to use. What? You can't afford?
He said this show is starting to sound like Friday's show.
No, he what else he said? He says, my mom says if you have nothing good to say about someone, say it in sign language.
Don't give me any ideas.
Actually, I think I could be wrong, but I think Gilson's mom and possibly dad was both deaf.
Huh? What? Say that again?
I believe
They were both deaf.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
His parents, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He was talking a couple shows ago about doing an EVP session in sign language. And I told him we had done that once.
Yeah, we need to try it again, actually. Why'd you let me forget about that?
Because I forgot about it. I'm older than you are, remember.
That's a good question. Like, because sometimes we investigate schools, and sometimes, most of the time, there's special needs classrooms in schools. So maybe the spirit can't hear in the afterlife. So why not try to do something in sign language?
But I had done it on my own in that hallway at the Sanford Center.
Oh, okay. I take it you didn't get any response from.
No.
Gilson says, yes, my family is all deaf.
That's what I thought. Spirit Stalker mentioned that she has a minivan with curtains and she takes naps.
I want a minivan with curtains.
I want a minivan. Christy traded our minivan in for that freaking Dodge Journey, and I'm still mad about it.
I like minivans. They're practical when you have a lot of stuff.
EVP is the best proof. I think the best proof is when you actually die and you see what happens. That would be the best proof. But the best physical evidence you can hand over to somebody, so far EVP is probably the most, it's about the best thing, unless you can predict when something's going to happen. Like if you take a group of skeptics, put them in a location, and you can predict when something's going to happen and set it up an experiment or situation that they are convinced that no fakery or fraud can happen, and then it happens on video in front of them, whatever. That would be the best case scenario, I would say.
Matt said, I don't think I'll go back to the Black Magic or Red. The amounts of storage you have, not to mention the computer to handle it. I'm out on that one, but I just got a Sony A6600 and I love it.
Right. Yeah, that's a good camera. The ones that we use, Matt, we use the G85s, the Panasonic Lumix G85s for like the regular vision, like for the interviews, A-roll, B-roll stuff, and night vision stuff. We use AX53 and AX100s, and action cams that got the infrared filter plucked out of them. All 4K, yeah, and you're right. The more raw and the higher codecs that you use, yes, it sucks. If like an hour-long documentary rendered at 4K takes me 6 to 7 hours. And I pray to Jesus that the electricity doesn't go out or something. I will fix Braylon's glasses. I promise. He pulled one of the templates out of the frame of his glasses, and I got to glue it back in. Yay me. So we'll wrap it up here in about 4 minutes. I know everybody's just partying and having a good time, and they won't know what to do if we end the stream. And it's my fault. It's Braylon's fault.
Aw.
Christy said, I love my Dodge. Thank you.
Yeah, but it doesn't have enough. The minivan had more room. I'm just saying. Our van is like, or not our van, but our SUV, our Dodge Journey is not big enough. So when you got rid of your Black Magic or your Red camera, Matt, you should have just like donated to Interface Death, and they would have bought. We had to buy extra hard drives to store all of season 6. We shot season 6 in 4K, and I think we ended up with how many terabytes? I want to say 10 terabytes, 12 terabytes.
I think you said 12, yeah.
Lots of data, and we can't like delete it, so we just have to keep those drives collecting dust. Thanks, Wild Bill. Thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Usually we have a topic for the show, but tonight we did not, so we just kind of did a freestyle Q&A, and people end up enjoying those. But hopefully we'll see you again.
Betty Kegler said, "I'm ready to stay after."
I'm sure you would very much enjoy it. I don't know. We'll have to talk about that with the gang to see if that's even a good idea.
I could just imagine.
I could easily do it.
Right. I'm
in my parked car getting lunch. Nice. It's probably in the middle of the day in Australia. The A6600 does fantastic for B-roll and cinematic shots, and arguably the fastest autofocus out right now, plus 4K. Dual pixel autofocus for Canon is arguably as good or better than that. It just depends on the situation and how much, the scene. I also use Nikons, and for the night vision, the Panasonic 4Ks. So Nikon, I use that as my stills camera. That's what I shot the wedding this weekend on. Gotta love the Nikons. Derek's got a Nikon D3300 modded to full spectrum, and it's nice. It's very nice.
He says, to be clear, he did not have a Black Magic or a Red. I just said I wouldn't get one.
Okay. I was going to say, it's like, I had those cameras, but I just settled for the A6600. I was like, me and you got to talk later. That's not good. Don't go backwards, buddy. Go ahead. Do we have something else?
Jen commented. She said, "That's a fun idea, though, about Patreons, but you'll have to be brutal and cut it when people get dozy, but too polite to say bye. LOL."
That's what we do. Like, either Derek or Josh are the ones that end the call. Sometimes it's me. But they'll end up like, Derek will end up passing out with the phone in his hand. He's like,
with a tall boy in his other hand.
Yeah, he's like,
the tall boy doesn't fall out. Just my phone.
Just your phone goes first. That's funny.
Yeah.
Becky has 2 Nikons. All right. Well, let's wrap it up. Girls, thanks for being here as always. And thank you guys. You're awesome. We love you. Oops, wrong button, Justin. Okay. Here's the links. InterfaceDeath.net. If you have not heard of our website, please go check it out. Here's all the other links. This is my blog page that I stream from there. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We're on Patreon. We're on YouTube. Please subscribe to YouTube. It's totally free. And if you would like to do a one-time donation and not Patreon, there's the link for the PayPal. And we have Discord. We have United Paranormal Society on Facebook, where we talk about and share and enjoy anything paranormal. Anything. And you can share your paranormal work, your investigation videos, your events, anything on that. So please send a join request for that. And let's thank our Patreon supporters. They are the reason why I'm able to continue this show at this rate and frequency. Please extend your thanks to Clay Borman, Katie Turner, R.J. Murphy, Scotty Fox, Casey Schreiner, Jessica Bias, Paranormal Reporter, Anthony Grothus, General 7, Heather Elliott, Joe Vitale, The Ghost Guild, Kelly McConkey, Tony Felosi, Betty Kegley, Cherry Capital Shadow Seekers, and Deadlight LLC. So if Josh stops making Deadlights, that means that that would be a hit. No, I'm just joking. But I'm going to leave it there. No show, no Necromancer tomorrow. Episode 7 of Interface Death Weekly will be Friday. So let me remind you, if you have any paranormal news, any paranormal evidence, video, audio, pictures, please submit them to me so we can review them Friday. That's what I want to do. If there is a piece of equipment you want us to review, I will throw up a poll, but you can let me know. You can either comment or message the page or send me an email at justinbrown@interfacedeath.net. Let me know what you want us to talk about, review, and go over this Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Love you guys. We'll see you next time. Stick around for those promos. Do you have that drive? That morbid curiosity to explore the darkness? Do you have what it takes to brave the night? You do? Good.
Dead light. For those who aren't afraid to see what lurks in the night.
Back off now. In God's name, back off.
You go back to your bathroom, you stay back there.
But I got you. Don't fucking touch me! Fuck! Okay. Leave me the fuck alone! Okay, sweetie. Okay. Open the door, get the door. Open the door, let's get her out of here.
Get the door.
God! Leave me alone! 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 Leave me alone!
Get out of here.
Ow! I can't move my feet! I can't move my feet! In God's name, out of here now!
This is Jason Bland, host of Midwest Paranormal Presents Paranormal Soup, where we stream live as a webcast every Sunday night, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern, with guests who will blow your mind. Live ghost box sessions where you can call into the show to see if the spirits will talk to you, and the world wide web of weird with the latest in paranormal news and evidence. We're bringing the weird every Sunday night, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow and subscribe.
Hello, everyone. I'm the Goose.
And I'm Michael Bradley.
Is that what you're calling yourself tonight?
Heisenberg.
Not the Angry Kitty.
Max Braggins.
Anywho, we're the hosts of the Cryptic Paranormal Show.
On our show, we'll talk about all things paranormal except Bigfoot. He freaks me out.
Really, dude?
You know that, but I guess we could talk about him as long as I don't have to see him.
We will talk. As a matter of fact, we'll talk about all fields in the paranormal realm.
And every week, we will interview new guests, celebrities, and researchers in the field, and all our comrades in the paranormal underground.
And we aren't afraid to ask the hard questions no one else will. Our conversations are rooted in our own experiences as paranormal investigators.
So be prepared to have your minds, your opinions, and your beliefs challenged.
And let's not forget to warn them about all the tomfoolery and shenanigans. Let's just say, you might want to put the kiddos to bed before tuning in. They don't call us the paranormal shock jocks for nothing.
Do they call us that?
If they don't, they will.
So be sure to tune into the Cryptic Paranormal Show every Thursday night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on RU Media Network.
Spook you later, crypto heads.
Bye.
Shut up.
Welcome into the Abyss with your host, Sean Gilmore. Open your mind, both of your ears, and all three of your eyes to discuss all things supernatural with weekly special guests. We believe that we all learn from each other and we all have a lot to learn. What will you learn today? Here is your host, Sean Gilmore.